Hey everyone, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to build a science-backed, comprehensive daily blueprint for your physical health. Because look, we all want the absolute maximum return on our health investments, right? And we want to do it without spending countless hours stuck at the gym or starving ourselves on these extreme diets. So today we're using hard, proven data to completely structure your perfect day of training and fueling up. Let's get into it.
Now, here is literally the very first question everyone asks when they sit down to plan a fitness routine. Should you eat before you train? It's a huge debate, and the answer actually fundamentally changes how you should be structuring your entire morning. Do you reach for that quick banana or a bowl of oatmeal, or do you head straight into your workout on a completely empty stomach?
Here's our agenda for today's explainer. First, fueling up. Fasted versus fed. Number 2, the 30-minute workout. Third, we'll hit the volumetrics diet concept. And finally, number 4, eating for your activity.
All right, kicking things off with section 1, fueling up, fasted versus fed.
To actually answer that opening question, we are looking at a massive meta-analysis of 46 different studies on exercise metabolism. What you're seeing here brilliantly illustrates the incredibly rigorous screening process the researchers used. They didn't just look at a handful of people over a weekend. No, they filtered over 13,000 records down to the absolute core studies comparing fasting with pre-workout feeding. So it gives us an incredibly reliable look at what is actually happening inside our bodies. So, what did they find? Well, the results revealed some pretty divergent effects depending on what your specific goal is. On one hand, pre-exercise feeding definitely bolsters prolonged aerobic performance. I mean, if you're running a marathon, you need that fuel. But notice the difference on the other side? Training in a fasted state, and by that we mean an overnight fast of at least 8 hours, forces your body to suppress glucose and actually utilize way more fat for energy. It induces these superior metabolic adaptations in your peripheral tissues, like your skeletal muscle.
Okay, so the magic number here is 60. The analysis clearly shows that while eating absolutely helps for those long marathon sessions, shorter workouts, meaning anything under 60 minutes, do not suffer any performance drop when done in a fasted state. None at all. In fact, you get all those amazing fat-burning adaptations without sacrificing a single ounce of your power or speed. It's a total win-win.
Moving on to part 2, the 30-minute workout. Since we now know that short workouts pair perfectly with a fasted state to really boost that fat burning, let's explore the ultimate zero-equipment protocol. By committing just 30 minutes, that's it, half an hour, to a structured full-body routine, you can burn somewhere between 200 and 350 calories. But honestly, more importantly, hitting all your major muscle groups in one go produces this massive anabolic hormonal response. And that is exactly what drives lean muscle development across your entire body.
To maximize that efficiency without needing a single piece of gym equipment, this routine is strictly structured. We're talking 3 sets of 6 exercises. For each exercise, you're going to work at absolute maximum, all-out effort for 45 seconds, and then you follow that with a strict 15 seconds of rest. Take a 60-second breather between the full sets. This is exactly what keeps your heart rate soaring while simultaneously building your strength.
And here is exactly how a complete session comes together using 6 essential bodyweight moves. You start off with the squat, which is basically the king of full-body exercises. Then drop down for the push-up for your upper body strength. Next up is everyone's favorite form of absolute torture, the burpee, which is guaranteed to elevate your heart rate to near sprinting levels. Then we hit the floor for the glute bridge, followed immediately by mountain climbers for some serious core conditioning. Finally, the plank with an alternating arm reach to really challenge your stability. By alternating these muscle groups, you completely avoid burning out just one area.
All right, section 3, the volumetrics diet concept.
So you've totally conquered your morning workout, but how do you fuel the rest of the day without those constant, draining hunger pangs? Well, this brings us to a brilliant concept formalized by nutritional scientist Dr. Barbara Rolls. She basically proved that humans tend to eat a consistent physical volume of food each day. So by prioritizing low-energy-dense meals, meaning foods that physically take up a lot of space but don't pack a ton of calories, we effectively trick our hunger signals. We naturally reduce our calorie intake while staying completely 100% full.
Now, to actually succeed here, you have to avoid the classic trap of tiny, highly processed diet foods. Think about it. A small, dense protein bar might have the exact same amount of calories as a massive bowl of vegetable soup, but it is definitely not going to physically stretch your stomach. You want to pack your plate with naturally large, water-heavy, fiber-rich whole foods to tip the scales in favor of true fullness.
And the best part? This high-volume approach does so much more than just manage your weight. Because you're eating large quantities of plant-based foods, you are actively enhancing your digestion through all that high fiber, which totally supports your gut health. Plus, you're continuously flooding your system with essential vitamins and antioxidants. It's kind of like the ultimate health hack. You actually get to eat way more food, not less. Which brings us to part 4, eating for your activity. So how do we actually combine this high-volume eating concept with our new fitness routine? Well, notice how this meal plan smartly cycles your fuel based entirely on your daily output. On your active days, you fuel up with whole grains and lean proteins. Think along the lines of hearty oatmeal or a grilled chicken wrap. But on your rest days, take a look at the bottom row. You drop the calories, but you keep the volume just as high. You focus heavily on sheer vegetable volume, like big fresh fruit bowls or hearty broth-based soups. You stay completely full, but you naturally lower your overall energy intake.
Of course, maintaining this lifestyle really just comes down to a few simple preparation habits. Always keep frozen vegetables on hand because they're just as nutritious as fresh ones and they will absolutely save you in a pinch. Try batch cooking large pots of hearty broth-based stews so you literally never have to stress about dinner. Pre-chop your veggies for quick, high-volume snacking, store your meals in clear containers so you can see what you have, and rotate your seasonal produce so your taste buds never get bored.
Wow, okay. We've covered a ton of ground today. You are now armed with the science of fasted training to maximize your fat burning, a 30-minute home workout that triggers full-body muscle growth, and a high-volume eating strategy so you never, ever have to go hungry again. The science is incredibly clear here, but honestly, it only works if you put it into practice. So the only question left for you is exactly how are you going to structure your very next 24 hours?